Right before we go into the questions, and really seriously, some fantastic questions in there, I'd like to introduce Sam Guild. I don't know how much introduction she needs. She's the founder and president of the Skin Cancer Education and Research Foundation. And we are so glad that she brought this on board so that our patients can get the information they need. But she's going to come up and talk about patient resources.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fontaine. First, I don't know if I'll have an opportunity after my presentation, but I really want to thank the Cleveland Clinic, Dr. Fontaine specifically, for helping us put together this event. What amazing information. The fact that we are over means that there's lots of information for you to share. And so thank you so much for doing that. So I'm going to get forward and put up my slides. And so I can tell you a little bit about Skin Cancer Education Research Foundation, SCERF for short. So we do know that there are many facets to understanding non-melanoma. And so in order to help patients through that journey, we, patients, and I should say family members and friends, and just the general public, we put together this website to really help educate the non-melanoma community, others who are interested in, in non-melanoma and what, the information they need. So I'm going to go to my next slide. So, of course, let me get to my next slide. Whoops. Okay, there we go. So, of course, early detection and prevention are really key in preventing the diseases as well as detecting them early so that we don't have to use all of these, therapies that we discussed. But our goal is also to focus on diagnosis, staging, and access to treatments. That information is so key. Informed patients and caregivers really, I think, improve the outcomes. So I'm going to talk about some of the resources that the SCERF website can offer all of you. So the first is, evaluating your treatment options. That means discussing not just treatment options, but therapies in development, special considerations, and of course, we also discuss the treatment by stage. Then, of course, there's the dealing with the side effects of treatment. We heard about some of them today. We are always building out the resources so that you can not only prolong your life, but also have a good quality of life in the process. There is our Skin Cancer and You webinar series that is separate from our symposiums. We have Bruce Cassidy, who is a caregiver of his father who was on treatment. We have one on side effects of immunotherapy and then the basics of Mohs surgery. Those are just some of them. We have our Skin Cancer blog, of course, hearing from others who understand what you are going through and knowing that you are not alone. And that's where the Skin Cancer blog comes in. We heard a little bit about clinical trials and the role clinical trials play in prolonging life and having a quality of life. But of course, you need to have access to those. So that's where the clinical trials matching service comes in. I just want to jump in. I really should mention the symposiums. This is the first of the symposiums, and we have one later on this month, but we have them throughout the year. And so those are being offered on the website. And then lastly, we can never forget about caregivers. They are an integral part of choosing making treatment decisions, being on treatment. And of course, there's self-care as well. Caregivers also need to be caring for themselves. And so there's lots of information for caregivers in our caregiver corner. So without any further delay, Dr. Fontaine, should we go to some of those questions?
Yeah, we may have to do a lightning round. There's so many of them.